Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, and now we are going to be starting a series of lectures regarding PHP, and I'm going to start with basics, and then we are going to learn advanced concepts of PHP. So you have to stay tuned. In each and every video I'm going to be explaining different concepts of PHP, and to get notifications of whenever I upload a video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. So let's get started. What we do here is that we are going to see that how we will connect to a database. First of all, we will connect to MySQL, then we will select the database which we have to use, then we will build a query string, perform the query, then we will retrieve the results, then we will go to step 3 again until all the desired data has been retrieved, and then we have to connect from MySQL. This is also very important that we have to disconnect from SQL and close the SQL data. The database, we will be making a connection string of that. Usually this is the good practice that you create a file login.php, a separate file, and then add it to your other files, because whenever you want to access the database, log into the database, you need all these files. So host name, always we will have the name of your host, which is always localhost. The database is the name of database which you are going to be using to fetch data. It can be any name, and the username is usually the username of your server, which is usually root, and the password is password of the root user, which is usually empty. So if it is empty, you will just write single quotes, nothing in between, to show an empty string. And after that, in the main file, to connect, we will be basically using the connection command, and we will be using MySQLi. Now why I am using MySQLi? Because it's the extension of MySQL, and nowadays in any browser MySQL statements are not supported, so we will always use MySQLi extension. So I'm going to tell you the command of MySQLi extension, which is chapter number 11 of this book. Same, these variables are initialized, and then how to access connecting to my servers require underscore once login.php. This is how you include any file inside your PHP code. So login.php is the file this above. We are including this login.php file in our another file. The keyword uses require underscore once. Then we are creating the variable. It is equal to new MySQLi. As it is, you will write, always you have to give this command. Then the DB hostname will come first, then the username, then the password, then the database, and this all will come from the file login.php, which is written above right here. All these values will be accessed. If connection dash greater than connect underscore error, if there is any connection in the error, the execution will stop, and this die command will stop execution and will display the error. It is very important. You always have to write this, because most of the time in PHP we get error and we don't understand why this error is coming. So this is the best solution, that you use this if statement. It will catch the error, stop the execution, and you'll know exactly what the problem is with your code. Now the next step is writing a query. So we will use a variable known as query, and here we will write select statics from classics. So classics is the table which is in the database named as publications, which we gave in login.php. So you have to be very careful about regarding the names. You have to give the same name as in your database. Name of the table is classics, and the query is select statics from classics, and this is just the query. To execute this query, you will have to use another command and create another variable result. Connection dash greater than query is the command that would be used to execute the above given query, this right here. So these commands together will execute a query. And again, you have to be very careful. If not result, die connection dash greater than sign and error. If not result means that if there is no result, the actual reason you would not know. Maybe the table you are giving it's wrong, maybe the data you are giving it's wrong. So it will, this command if you write, it will give you or tell you the exact error and the location of error. Let us select query. Now what we have to do, we have to fetch the results. We have to display the result of the query, definitely. So again we will use require once, then connection, we will create a connection string, we will check for errors, we will write the query, we will execute the query, we will check if the query resulted okay or not. Then another variable rows inside result dash greater than num underscore rows. This command will tell that how many rows were returned by the query we executed. The query select starix from class 6. How many rows were returned from that query? This function will tell, and it will be stored inside the rows variable. Then the next we have loop starting j is equal to 0. J is less than rows. What is rows? Rows is right there, here, the total number of rows returned by the query. So this loop will run until all the rows are fetched plus j. Next command, result data underscore seek. This command will basically one by one retrieve the row. This j, it will retrieve the 0th row. Then this row variable fetch underscore array. Because we have multiple rows, so we would have to fetch each row as an array, index 0, index 1, index 2, like 0th array and 0th index array row, and then fetch it in the form of array. Why? Because it will have multiple elements, multiple columns, so we would have to fetch each row as an array. Then echo author. Basically the table that we are accessing, which name is classics, it basically has 5 columns. The first column is author, the next is title, category, year and ISBN. So we are going to echo author. It will be printed as it is. Row, what is row? This row, array, from 0th index, the first column author. So this is the name of the column inside the database. If it is authors, you will write authors and so on. So you have to be very careful. This author would be printed as it is, and this author is the same as the name of the column from database. Print the title, and which column? The column whose name is title inside the database, category, year and ISBN. That's it. And the last step I told you was to close the connection. So first we will close the result from where in which we have the result of the query, and then we will close the connection. It's very important. And what will be the output? Basically the output is given right here. If you see, author, the name of author, title, category, year, ISBN. This is basically, this one is the first row. This one is the second row fetched. This one is the third row fetched. This one is the fourth row fetched, and so on. Example in which insertion and deletion is also performed, and it is in chapter number 11, MySQLi. And this is a very important function, isSet. The isSet function basically check whether a field is the user has entered a value or not, and this I will explain in detail when I will explain you how to handle the data from forms. So the most important thing here is the insert command. When you are giving this here, insert into table values. If you have values in the form of variables, so you will give in single quote inside variable. Author, you have initialized the value title, so you will write the variable name. Category, year and ISBN. So insert into classic values, then you will give values in brackets, semicolon. And to execute this query, you will be using this result is equal to connection dash query. It will be executed. Here you don't have to fetch the result. Why? Because insertion is going to insert one row, and you don't have to like execute one by one, fetch one by one like in select. So it's a bit simple. And if insertion is failed, if not result, echo insertion failed. Right? This is very important, you have to give. And in the same way, we also had another one, which is here, select. So for selection we have to give all these things again and again. and so on. And then you can give here delete records, delete from table, where. These are all commands you can use, and you can button input type is equal to submit, and value is equal to submit. Okay, I have made this. So when I click this button, it will go to my new file .php. We will do this. I will tell you about my new file, and then this is the method post we are going to use. And inside PHP, now I want to access the value of each and every element. I will create a variable uname is equal to, you are going to give post brackets and the name of the field. The name of first text box is txt1. So I will write here txt1. In this way I am accessing, this is the array, post array. I'm going to access the value of entered in this text box tx1, and it should be tx2 text box name. Sorry, I did not change id, and this should be the last one, should be name, should be address. You can give any name, uname. Okay, so first variable I'm giving, then I'll give next variable, I'll give lname, and name is equal to text2. You can give name lname to the text box, any name you want to give. Then I'll write id, the variable name I will give here is id, and then I'm going to access it, the field which has the value of id. Now I'm going to lastly access the field that has the value of address. Okay, so its name is address. You see, from here we will access the value, and now simply we are going to echo all these values. Uname dot lname dot id dot add. Okay, so we can do two things. We can give here the name of the same file first. The name of this file is first.php. we can do this right here. We make the form. Remember, form is always made above PHP tag. Okay, and action is equal to first.php, same this file. So let's go, let's open first.php, refresh. So this is first name ABC, second name XYZ, third name ID, address is this. It is giving error because it does not have the values. As soon as I click, it has printed ABC. I input ABC in the first text box, it is getting it. Then XYZ in the next text box, it is getting it. Then 33 in the next text box, and this in the last text box. We can give the file name of another file. Okay, here my new file.php I will give, and I will create this file, and all this PHP code I will written in next file. That is, all the data will go to my new file.php, and it will process the data. So file new, we will give it, save it by my new file.php, my new file.php, and here we have to select all files, and I am saving it inside htdoc c xampp htdoc save. So let's see what happens. I'm going to refresh first.php. Now you see there is no error because we have separated the code. I will write, for example, Aisha, Iqbal, and then ID, so anything, address, anything. I will submit it, and you see it has gone to the next page, next file, my new file.php. It is no more first.php, and in the next it is displaying all the data I entered. So that's how you're going to work with different files. You can use post method, get method, or anything. How are we going to create databases? Simply we are going to open just localhost, and in localhost we have all these options. Right here we will simply go to phpMyAdmin, and when we click this, we would have this interface, and here on the left side we have all the databases that are created. Here you have databases then the information of SQL, all the databases, it gives detail of those databases. SQL query, if you want to run any status of your connection, user accounts. If you remember, I told you about the connection string. First you have to write localhost, then the name of database, and finally you have to give the username and password. So here are all the users. See, this is root, it has no password. This is again to create it from root, it has all privileges and so on. So you can also create a new user if you want, and you can give your own password to provide a type of security. You want to export this database, you can import a new database, and there are so many options that you can select from. What we are going to do here, we are going to create a new database. Okay, the new database, here we will give the name of database, staff underscore info is the name of database, and we will just create, click create. When you click this, you see on the left side staff underscore info, it is appearing here. There is no table, so it is not showing anything. Staff underscore info. Right here on the right side, it gives me an option of creating a table. So after creating a database, we are going to create a table by the name info, and here you can check how many columns you would add. 4, 5, 6, however. I'm going to add 4 columns. Go. When I click go, a table is created, and the column names, for example, I'm going to give it first name, the name of the column, then data type. We will use three basic types: integer for numeric values, varchar for mixed character and numeric values, and text for basically character values. And you can give date, time, numeric, date and time, so on. So it is name, text, maximum length I'm giving 35, and here you can specify if you are allowing null, then click it, otherwise don't click it. And then we have index. This is very important. If you want to assign it as a primary key, you can by selecting it as an index. Next column, we are going to give it last name, and it would be text, and then it would be 35. Then we are going to create integer data type, and then we are going to select it as a primary key. Okay, after that the last one is when we select it as a primary key, then last one is, for example, address, and we will give it a varchar and 40. After that we are going to click save. Processing the request, loading, and it is created. Now you can write any query, anything you want to see, staff, and it has this table info. When I click the table info plus, it will show all the columns of info. New, address, first name, ID, last name. If you want to insert a data, you will click here, this tab, insert. Okay, let's insert first name Aisha, last name, for example, Iqbal, and ID would be anything I would give, and address is anything address. Go. When I click go, the data would be inserted. How you can see, basically you can see in the browse, you can see the data. See, that's it. So you will click left, your database, then your table, then you will see insert. You can insert new value. You will see browse to browse all the data inside here. Of implementing the databases, simply we are going to write this. I'm not creating another file, I'm simply going to put it copy, and then we have this, I have this PHP file that I have opened already. I'm simply going to paste. The host name is localhost. The name of our database is right here, staff underscore info. So I'm going to give here staff underscore info, and the username is root, as I shown you already. It is root, and there was no password. So when there is no password, just give blank single quotes, don't give a space. If you give a space, it will consider space as your password. Then let's come here. We are going to create the connection and copy it. It's up to you. If you want to create another file and you want to include it using required ones, you can do it. It's totally up to you. We have created a connection. Now we are going to return a query. I'm going to be using the select query because I want to select the record that we have already done. query select statics from classics, but our table name is not classics. We are going to check our table name, which is right here, info, you see. So we are going to write info. So these are some important things you have to take care of. You cannot exactly copy paste the code. That's it. What we are going to do is we are going to fetch the record, and for fetching simply we are going to use a few lines. Rows, here we are going to get the number of rows, copy, and then we are going to one by one use a for loop. Then we have to paste it here. What changes here I will make? Author is, it's not author, first is first name. And what is the name of our first field? From here we will get its name is first name. So I'm going to write here instead of author first name, because this is what my first field name is. And the second is last name. So I want to print as it is last name, but there would be no space here. See, try not to give the field names with space. Okay, then I want to print ID. Here you can type anything here. It's not necessary you type ID here, because it's up to you. And last is this one. This is address. I'm going to give address. Okay, that's it. No, I actually omitted the ID one. It's okay. I'm going to print ID here and give ID here, and I will take ID. ID, and delete this last one, because we only have 4 columns, so we don't need this last one. And it's totally up to you. Maybe you can just, you want just first name last name to be printed, you can do it. And the last 2 commands are always you have to close the query and the connection. And we will now try to run our file, which is localhost / first.php. Okay, syntax unexpected query. Okay, let's see. I think we have we have missed a semicolon here. So this is a problem with this code. They have missed the semicolon here. So if see, it's giving me error in query. It's not telling me exactly where the error is. So you have to check the upper line, the lower line to find out the error. So this is the error. They haven't mentioned colon here. So let's see, refresh. See, I have got all the output, Aisha, Iqbal, ID and address, and we will see right here we have all these fields. Let's insert another row. Maybe we will check it is fetching or not. Amna, for example, name, and then we have her ID is sorry, no, not 1 2 3 there, 1 2 3 address, any address, Gulberg, for example. I'm going to go insert the record. It's inserted, browse. Now I have 2 records. Now I'm going to refresh this file, and if you see, I have 2 values now. First is the record of Amna name, second is the record of Aisha Iqbal. This is how we have fetched. And now we are going to insert some records from using our code instead of doing it manually from here. Query insert into info. The name of our table is info. Values. Okay, now it's very important to keep in mind that you have to insert values. First name, for example, Amira, then in single quotes Haroon maybe, and the ID we would like to give is 456, comma, address would be ABC XYZ, for example. This is what we have given: first name, last name, ID and address. So you have to give in the same sequence: first name, last name, ID and address. Okay, so you have to be very careful about this thing. And then we have to result connection underscore query, if result not result die connection. Then we don't have to give all these lines. Why? Because we are not fetching the result. We are just here we are going to give an else statement just to check if there is a problem. The error would be displayed that result not for example no value inserted, so that we know that if there is an issue. If not result, die, and else value inserted, excuse me, because this is no result, it will give you error, and if there is no error, it will print value inserted. And then we will close the connection, result, and then the connection. Now let's refresh this, and value inserted. Okay, let's see if the value is inserted right here. We will refresh it. See, the value is right here. Here, this one. I gave Amira Harun 456 ABC XYZ here, right? And it is inserted. So this is how you can insert data in your database using your forms, files, and whatever you want. And if you want to delete, we are simply going to do one thing: delete from the name of table info where ID, always delete using a primary key. Okay, so ID is the primary key. For example, we want to delete this Amira Harun record 456. ID is equal to 456. Okay, value, now we will give deleted. Okay, value deleted. Let's refresh it. Value deleted. Okay, let's see if the value is deleted. Yes, the value is deleted right here. Okay, so that's how you're going to delete a value, and in the same way you can update a value and perform any SQL action as you do in Oracle or simple SQL. But this one is MySQL. It's a different version which is usually used with web applications. Value in the database using this form. So this is the form, and whatever we entered in this form, we are going to save it in the database. So now we will open the file, my new file .php, simply all files, my new file.php, and here we are going to write the query of insert. From here I'm simply going to paste all the commands again, the username and password. Okay, localhost, and our database name was, that I always forget, is staff info and info, staff underscore info, and the username is root, and it has no password. Next command, we are going to create a connection string simply by going here, create a connection string, copy it here, then we have to run the query, and this is our query, simple. Okay, so insert into info values. Okay, so before that, all the things we have got from, these are all the values we have got from our text box side, and we are going to insert like this. First is what is first variable? Uname. I'm going to insert uname, then is ul name, and then third variable is, always give it in single quotes, the name of variable, ID, and comma, the last one is $add. So what we are doing, we are fetching the values from the text boxes that we have entered, and in the query we are giving insert into the name of our table, values, no hard coded values, the value that is saved from the text box in this variable, then lname variable, id variable, add variable, one by one in single quotes. Let's see what our output looks like. I'm going to just comment out this one. So we are going to open the file which is first.php. okay, I will write, for example, Aliza and header, and ID would be 999, address would be Lahore, for example. If I click submit, Okay, it is going to my new file.php. Now it is not showing anything. Why? Because here I haven't given any message. After I have given the query, I have executed the query, and if there is an error, give an error. Apart from that, I haven't given anything. So we will go and check out we will refresh the database to check whether the record has come here or no, and you can see that the record is right here, Aliza Haider 999 Lahore, and this is what I entered in the form of this form. So you can give a message here, record inserted, record deleted, and so on. You can give it easily.